Alright, guys, so I just watched Stranger Things Season 5, Volume 2. This encompasses episodes 5 through 7, I think. Yes, that's correct. And overall, I still enjoy the season, but I feel like I'm starting to see through the veil a little bit. It really does feel like so much of this season is just characters explaining lore and exposition, or character is giving their plan to stop Vecna in admittedly a very fun way. Like, these are talented actors and they're delivering this lore and exposition dump, and they're doing the best that they can. But at a certain point, once you realize that that's what so much of this season is, it's just like, all right, dude. Like, a certain point, it really does feel like the writer's room just ran out of ideas of what to do with these characters. And it's funny because this is explicitly something that I gave them credit for in the first 4 episodes, where I was like, man, it feels like they really figured out a way to have all of these characters do things that are important and have something to do. But yeah, by the time I'm on episode 7 and Steve is explaining the bridge or the something or the other with a slinky toy, I'm just like, all right, guys, like, what are we what are we doing here? Because that's explicitly the thing that I care the least about when it comes to Stranger Things. It's the timey-wimey gobbledygook nonsense of the science of it all. It's just like, listen, at this point, I'm here with the characters. I'm here for the characters. You don't need to try to get me to understand it all. Quite frankly. If you want to devote like a scene or two to trying to explain the lore and the science of it all, that's fine. But it feels like there's just way too much of it this season. Now that's the big complaint out of the way. Overall, these 3 episodes actually had some really nice character moments. I'm not going to do a massive in-depth breakdown of it all because I don't feel like it. I actually liked where they ended up with Nancy and Jonathan's relationship, because these are 2 characters that I have stopped caring about. And they broke them up, and they actually had a nice moment where their relationship ended and they ended amicably. And I thought that that was nice. Would I have liked to have seen those problems really manifest in an interesting way throughout the past few seasons? Sure. Maybe they did manifest and I just don't remember because it takes them 87 years to make these seasons. But that's where I'm at, unfortunately. I kind of like that they brought back the girl from that episode that everybody hates. And they're just like, no, that episode is important. And it's going to play into the final season. But I also like that she basically makes a suicide pact with Elle. I was definitely expecting for the big twist at the end to be Elle sacrificing herself to save the day. I feel like they've been really telegraphing that by having Hopper be so like self-sacrificial. But now they're also straight up telling us that Elle is also planning to sacrifice herself to save the day. So I do think they're doing a good job of not making it as clear what's ultimately going to end up happening. I enjoyed Max and Holly being a little duo. I like that Holly sort of is that burst of energy that they need to be able to figure out how to get out of Vecna's mind. There's also no denying that this show is still able to create like epic moments. Like when Max and Holly are running to their portals and Max finally gets out of her trance. Like, it's amazing. I mean, you really can't deny it, however jaded you may be about Stranger Things. And yeah, and I still appreciate that Holly serves as the cute little kid having to deal with all of this supernatural, scientific, whatever, timey-wimey gobbledygook. Because it really does help anchor us back to that first season where the whole appeal of this was seeing cute little kids dealing with supernatural horror. You know, unfortunately, Finn Wolfhard looks like he's 35, and it just doesn't hit the same. I still enjoy Will and Robin's relationship. I like that she's his gay mentor. I think that's a lot of fun. I thought that Will's speech at the end at first was really forced, of like, okay, they're literally just adding this in to add it into it. But then they reminded me that it's like, oh, okay, he's letting this secret out so that he's no longer insecure and that his mind is like more fortified, so that he no longer has this fear and he's able to resist Vecna more. It's like, okay, fair enough, Duffer Brothers. I also appreciate where Dustin and Steve ended up. I like that Dustin finally just like said what he was feeling. And it was genuinely eye-watering when he was begging Steve not to go because he didn't want him to die. These two have always had some of the best chemistry in the show, and to allow them to express that genuine love and emotion in the final season is very satisfying. I will say though, like Vecna, I just don't find him to be that compelling of a villain. He's kind of just like a worse Pennywise to me. And again, so much of it has to do with the timey-wimey gobbledygook sci-fi lore exposition nonsense of like, actually, let me see if I understand it right even. So, Vecna is trying to steal all these kids because he needs them as vessels to create his own world, not on our Earth, not in his mind, not in the underground, but in like another world that's above everything. Is that it? I'm sorry, I just can't bring myself to care about it all that much. Like, for me, the core of this show are the characters and the fact that I'm attached to them, and I think they're doing a good job with those characters, but the overarching plot of what's happening is just very confusing to me. But yeah, I'm overall still having a good time with the show. I'm overall still having a good time with the show. What do you think, though? Who cares about what I have to think? I'm going to pretend like I care about your opinion and tell you to comment down below so that you can boost my video in the algorithms. So do that, and I'll see you in the next video. Goodbye.